Welcome to another episode of Well and Worthy Life. Okay, guess what? It's another solo episode today. I gotten so many wonderful comments about the last two episodes. And anyway, I just thought we'd just continue it on here. But don't forget, if you ever have any suggestions for me, I love to hear from you. So it's super simple. All you have to do is message me through Instagram or you can send me an email, Deanna, Deanna at wellandworthylife.com. You spell it all out, wellandworthylife.com. Okay, so I love hearing from you guys. And don't forget, I love those reviews also. So I really, really do appreciate it when you send those reviews my way. I'm just going to start out by talking about some things that are on my mind. These are random things, some things, yeah. So we're just going to go for it. The first thing I want to tell you about is the last episode I did. We were talking about empty nesting, and I was talking about how I got very emotional because my son and daughter-in-law just moved to Seattle. Well, today is Monday, August the 7th, when I'm recording this. You're going to hear this next week after I've already done what I'm doing. I'll be actually coming back the day that you're listening to this, or maybe you're listening to this at another time. Like I do podcasts too. I kind of listen to them at various times. But anyway, I am headed on Wednesday to go visit my son and daughter-in-law, and I cannot wait because this was a huge, huge thing for me for them to move so far away, all the way from Birmingham, Alabama to Seattle, Washington. So I'm super excited about going to visit them, seeing where they live, exploring a new area, and even more, we're going to take a little side trip. We're going to Victoria, Canada for a couple of nights. So I'm really excited about having that new adventure with them. And yeah, so I'll tell you all about it once I get back. So anyway, it's just one of those things, that I know so many of you are starting to be empty nesters, or maybe you're sending your kid off to kindergarten for the first time, whatever, or maybe they're off on their new adventure with life. And you have this, your heart hurts, but you're excited for them. You're excited because they're going to experience so much. And that's what we do. We raise children to move on and live their life just like we did, right? But as mamas, it kind of hurts our heart sometimes, especially when they're so far away. But the good news is that no matter where they are, we live in a time where it's not too hard to get almost anywhere. We may have to save up our money. We may have to plan accordingly on our time and all of that, but we can do it. And then with technology and FaceTime and Zoom and all of those things, in fact, I just FaceTimed with them yesterday. So it's not like I haven't seen them at all. And I'm super excited to actually see them in person because there's nothing like seeing somebody in person, right? So I will update you guys about that. Like I said, I'm super excited about that. Okay, but something else I really have on my mind, especially today, I stepped out of my comfort zone today. I did something that I've never done. Thought about doing it many, many, many times. And I've always come up with excuses, probably a lot like people do when it comes to exercise. With exercise, that's always been easy for me. I don't really come up with excuses. I do it. I love it. I enjoy it. But I've been doing it for a long time, right? And, I talk about this all the time. It's the small things that we do consistently that add up over time. Well, I've been going to my church that I go to. It's Church of the Highlands in Birmingham, Alabama, almost since they started. Not the exact date, but I would say within about 6 months of them starting Church of the Highlands. And in January and in August, there is a 21 day of prayer. service at 6 a.m. in the morning. And I have never, ever gone to the service. So it started yesterday on Sunday, on August the 6th. And so I went to church. So that was easy, right? But today started the 6 a.m. Oh. And so I have a friend who has encouraged me to come before. And I'm just like, no, I made it so many excuses. Sleep is so important to me. So I'd be like, no, my sleep is so important. I can get up and do my quiet time anytime. I just need to really focus on my sleep because that's really, really important to my overall health. Like I said, always making excuses. And another friend of mine said to me, you'll be so happy you did it. Just like when you're so happy you go work out and, then you're like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. And I went this morning and I'm committed to going every day that I'm in town. Remember, I'm leaving on Wednesday for 6 nights, so I won't be here then. But for every other day during that 21 days, I am going to be there at 6 a.m. for the prayer service. And let me just tell you something. My friend was exactly right, because this morning when I woke up, that my alarm went off at 5:10. And to be honest with you, I didn't sleep good at all last night. Maybe it was because I knew I was getting up early, just various reasons why I didn't sleep well. But when my alarm did go off at 5:10, I popped out of bed. My husband said, where are you going? And I had told him the day before, but sometimes we don't remember. And I told him that I'm going to church. So anyway, I got ready. And as I was driving there, I was watching the sun coming up and the first of the morning. And I was just looking around and noticing so many cars going in the same direction I was. And then as I was walking in, just looking around at all the different people that were coming in, and it just warmed my heart so much. And yes, I can have my quiet time wherever, and I can pray wherever. But being in a community and being surrounded by like-minded people, oh, there's just nothing like it. And I was so glad that I was there. During, before, after, everything about it, I was like, that really just made me, it really started my day off, which is something about, I talk about this all the time, is that morning routine and how we start our day can make us have a wonderful day or make us have a crappy day. And let me just tell you, this made my day. It made my day. So for the next 21 days, when I'm in town at 6 a.m., you're going to find me at Church of the Highlands. And I hope this encourages you. Maybe it encourages you to go to Church of the Highlands, or maybe it encourages you to get back in your prayer routine, or maybe it encourages you for your morning routine, or maybe it just encourages you to step out of your comfort zone and quit making excuses. Oh, because for so many years, I have made excuses and I have been missing out. Something I didn't even know I was missing out on. And now I know. So anyway, I hope this encourages you to step out of your box, step out and see. Quit making excuses. What are you making excuses about? We all do it. So really take some time and examine and see what it is in your life that you need to push yourself out of that comfort zone and quit making excuses. Okay, so let's talk about that community. Just like I was saying, how important community is. Community to me is one of the most important things. And to be in person in events is, especially since COVID, I think it's even more important than ever. But sometimes It's hard to find a community of like-minded people in person. Let's just be honest. I mean, it's just hard sometimes. You can find that at a gym, maybe. You can find that at your church. You can, you can find it different places. You can set up an intentional meeting with your girlfriends, a small group, or maybe even a supper club or things like that. But a lot of times it's really hard. And that's why we have created the new membership program that we're starting September 1st. Yep. And it's called Revive Now. And you're like, wait, what is that? I had balance wellness course that I came up with, created. I created balance wellness method around 3 years ago. And I had so many women love this program. It was life-changing for so many, for some of my friends, as well as so many of my clients. And I loved it. And then we expanded on it with balanced eating method and balanced movement method. Well, as things evolve, I see a need for something more comprehensive, more affordable, more actionable. And so guess what? That is Revive Now. And I'm super excited about it. It's a membership. And so if you want to be the first to know when we release it, then you need to make sure you are on our wait list. Now, how do you get on your wait list? Well, we're going to have the link in the show notes for sure. But let me tell you what the link is. The link is wellandworthylife.com/revive, REVIVE dash now, NOW dash waitlist. Okay. So that's wellandworthylife.com/revive dash now dash waitlist. So that's how you can be the first to know when it is ready for you to purchase and be a part of. And I'm so excited about it. I have had several people already on the wait list. I have got people just are ready to join, and it's going to be so amazing. So what is it? It is a membership, and it's a monthly membership that when you join, you will want to join for at least 6 months. You don't want to just do it for a month. You won't be able to make those changes in 1 month, because look, here's the thing, we're on a journey, right? And so every month we will have a specific topic that we will be focusing on in our midlife journey as through perimenopause and menopause. But more importantly, you're going to have a whole content vault that will have all the information that I have taken over 10 years to acquire. Information on what helps you to change. So I've got worksheets, PDFs. We're going to talk about mindset, nourishment, hormone health, movement, stress management, sleep, hydration, all the things. I'm like, there's just so much here. So I cannot wait for you to join us. And if you're like, oh gosh, I got to know some of this stuff right now. Well, don't worry. I have a private podcast that I'd love to give you free of charge. All you need to do for that is it's wellandworthylife.com/reset-to-re-energize. So that will be in the show notes also. So, okay. So I've got 2 things that I've been working on, and I'm super excited. So if you're ready to go, you need some information right now, then my private podcast, you're going to love that. It is, like I said, the link is wellandworthylife.com/reset-to-re-energize. Okay. And then if you do that, then you're going to be directed also over to the wait list for Revive Now. Okay. So you'll be covered both ways. So I'm really excited about that. And that community is where we make the change. And this is a community of like-minded women. Like I said, community is where we can make these changes in a safe environment. And all of our experiences are so different. But the biggest thing I want you to know is that even though our stories are going through perimenopause and menopause are different, they're alike in so many ways as well. And the biggest thing I want you to know is you're not alone going through this journey. I wish I knew then, when I'm talking about then, I know like when I was 40, I wish I knew then what I know now. I mean, it would have changed my journey through perimenopause and menopause for sure. It would have made some major changes. So anyway, if you are looking for a community of like-minded women going through these midlife years, going through all the changes, finding your purpose as this empty nester, like all of a sudden your kids are gone and you're like, wait, what's going on? Or maybe they're not quite gone, but you need to prepare for that. I always say that. I mean, like, because you don't want to wait till they're gone and then figure it out. If we start planning ahead, we always make better choices. And so this can really help you and see what paths other women have taken and how did they find their purpose. Gosh, I hear this a lot. Like, how do I find my purpose? My purpose for so long was being a mom and managing all the stuff, right? And even if you still have another quote job or career, you do find you have more time when your children are gone. It's just this empty space. You never stop being a mother, but you have a little bit more time to maybe circle back and look at yourself. I just don't want you to start there and look at yourself and go, oh my gosh, what happened to me? We are here and we can take control of some of the things. So many times I get clients that come to me and it's because they have started to be empty nesters or about to be, and they look in the mirror and they don't like what they're seeing in the mirror. Maybe they're seeing extra belly fat, or maybe they're seeing more wrinkles. I mean, they just feel like their skin isn't looking as good. Just what happened to me? And so this is a great time to find yourself more and to spend some more time on yourself. We pour into our children, we pour into our husbands, we pour into our careers, but who's pouring into us? If we don't pour into ourselves, then we can't keep going. We're going to hit a wall. And especially with all of our hormones going wacko and everything else, it doesn't help us at all. So anyway, I hope you'll join us in our community. Okay, so another thing I've been thinking about a lot and hearing a lot of information on, and I really haven't addressed it publicly because I think I just have a lot of mixed thoughts on it. And so that's why I haven't really addressed it that much. But I'm going to talk about it today. And that is the weight loss drugs. I know you've heard of Ozempic, Mounjaro. I don't think I'm saying that right, but semaglutide, or whatever. I'm not good at pronouncing all the names to these things, but should you take them? And to be honest with you, I've come to the conclusion, because I have some friends that are on it, that I think it's a personal preference. There are some definite side effects from it. So you want to examine all those side effects and kind of weigh what's best for you. I don't think that I can tell you or anybody can tell you what's best for you. We're all so different. And so as far as should you take it or should you not, I think it is totally your call. There's so much talk about it, and I know there's so many people that are doing it and having great results. I mean, they are losing the weight. I think some things to think about are, what are the long-term effects? From everything I've heard and read, you have to stay on it for the rest of your life. I mean, so there it goes back to, is it sustainable? But, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it to stay on it. Maybe it's going to change your metabolic health. And that's what you need. We need to have good metabolic health. So I just am so unsure. And I think that you need to figure out for it yourself. But I do know one thing, that even if you do take these weight loss drugs, if you continue to eat a lot of processed foods and not work out, then you're not changing anything long term. Because let's face it, most people will go off of the drugs, and then for sure they're going to gain the weight back and more. Now, if you start making some real changes, really focusing on what you're putting in your body, and I highly recommend focusing on that protein and fiber. The one thing I worry about with these drugs is that it makes you where you're not hungry. I mean, I've heard from my friends, like they could go all day without eating food. Well, then you're not nourishing your body. And so that's not a good thing, right? We have to nourish our body with the right things. So I think, that's one of the things you need to really think about, because you don't want to just lose weight. Because a lot of times, especially if we're losing weight quickly, we are losing muscle and not fat. And then we're going to end up with a dreaded saggy skin, which we certainly don't want that. We have enough problems as we're getting older, and we don't want the sag, right? So, so really think about those things, and really focusing on strength training. I was telling a friend the other day that she told me that she was on it. And I said, well, again, you have to decide for yourself. But one thing I would tell you is to really focus on that protein, really make sure you're getting enough protein. And what is enough? Again, we're all different. It depends on your activity level. It depends on your body weight. It depends on your ideal body weight. So, and that's different for a lot of people, but generally speaking, 1 gram of protein per, 1 gram per ideal weight. So like if your ideal weight's 150, then you should be getting close to 150 grams of protein. Okay. So I said, really focus on that. And then also really focus on strength training, lifting heavy weights, building those muscles, so that as you're losing the weight, you're losing fat and not muscle, and not so much on cardio at all. In fact, as we get older, we still need a little bit of cardio, but not that what we were taught, the Jane Fonda and the, go, and the stair climber and all that. So really think about those things and try and decide, what is best for you. And and here's the thing, I just want to be totally transparent and honest. I mean, I look at my friends and I'm like, they're losing weight so easily. And I wouldn't mind losing about 5 pounds myself. Wow. Should I do that? No. That's not going to help me. And so, but I have to keep reminding myself that, first of all, I know 5 pounds is not that big a deal, especially to most people. I'm shorter, so it is a bigger deal to me, but it's really not that big a deal. I am really focusing on building muscle. and changing my body composition. You may remember my podcast, the time before last, when I did the podcast on my body composition. And that's what I'm really focused on, changing my body composition, making sure I have more muscle than fat, a lot more muscle, and really making my body strong so that I do have longevity. Because we know that when we're stronger, the statistics show that we are going to live a happier, healthier life for sure. So those are just some things that I am thinking of, and I love hearing from you guys and what it is that you're thinking about, what's important to you right now. Like I said before, if you have somebody that you think would make a great guest for my podcast, I would love to talk to them. If you have a subject you want me to discuss, something about my own life that I can share and help you, because truly my goal is to be kind of like your big sister, to help you during these perimenopausal and menopausal years. They can be stressful because we've got so much going on. We've got our hormones going crazy. We've got life changes happening. Maybe we've got elderly parents that we're taking care of. And we're really thinking more about our own longevity, how long we're going to live, and how's that life going to look for us. So I know that, some people are having their husbands retire, or they're getting ready to retire. All that changes. So a lot of life changes. And then you get those hormones in there, and it can be a trying time. But the biggest thing you need to know is everything's going to be great. And this part of your life can be the best ever. We just have to do things to make it the best ever. It's some of the choices that we make. Like I said before, it's the small things, but it is the choices we make really will dictate how our journey goes, right? And knowing you're not alone, being with a group of like-minded women like that are going to be a part of Revive Now is so important on this journey. So I hope you'll join us in Revive Now. Remember, you can get the private podcast, Reset to Re-Energize, and always feel free to direct message me on Instagram, email me, Deanna@wellandworthylife.com. And just thank you for listening today. I hope you have a fabulous day.